Welcome to another episode of the Thrift Store Horde. I believe it's episode 14. I've got my normal friends here. We've got Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Bad choice of words. We are not normal. Anyone who's watched all 14 episodes knows we're not normal.
Normal amongst our community, right?
Yes, the usual friends, yeah.
The usual suspects. And of course, Adam's here. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Thrifty Ho.
Yes. I guess just to kick things off, any new places that you've ventured out to? Any new experiences or anything like that?
The only thing I can say as far as new experiences, I do have some alarming news about my local Goodwill, who is a major supplier of my VHS. So I went there today because I always like to go right before our videos for last minute pickups. And when I arrived, my glorious aisle of VHS was gone. It was all DVD. And the area that used to be DVD was empty. So I don't know if they're going to fill that with more DVDs or they're moving VHS to that location. I'm very concerned. I asked up front. They didn't know what was going on. So stay tuned. Episode 15. This is the cliffhanger.
Yes, it's almost our 1 year anniversary. Actually, we started at the end of June last year, so there's a big cliffhanger for season 2, I guess. What about you, Kevin? How you been?
All right, my stores, as they lessened the VHS, it's pretty much like in their DVD section. If they get any VHS donated, they just put it in with the DVDs. But it's been getting less and less over time. So the last time I went, I think there was only like 3 VHS total in the whole area.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of sad. I went to Syracuse, which is about 45 minutes away, a couple weeks ago to just try the thrift stores out there, just to see what luck I would have. So I'm expanding my circle of search.
That's good. Yes, we went to Florida last week, and it was actually, we went down on Saturday, so Sunday was kind of our do whatever day. And pretty much all of these stores, the antique malls and stores were closed, except for Goodwill. So we hit 3 Goodwills in Panama City, 2 that we had never been to before. And one was a very interesting experience that I guess I'll talk about when I get to what I found there. But a unique Goodwill setup that I had never seen before. So anyway, what is something hot, guys? What is something that you found that you're just like, oh man, I can't wait to share this?
I've got some stuff here that has been so interesting to me because somebody had, I guess you would call them like VHS accessories, VCR peripherals. I don't know really how we're supposed to take this here, but there was some interesting stuff still in the boxes. What we have here is a television guide cover. Okay.
What?
So inside here, it's still in the plastic and everything. Okay. So I actually haven't opened it. I just looked at it very briefly. But this is a literal, just a cover for your television guide. It's, it's kind of that faux leather look. And I have, an issue of TV Guide right here.
Oh my God.
So each month you can protect your TV Guide. So
I know a certain individual that lives in Virginia that would probably love to have that.
Yes, indeed. But the funny thing about that, though, I do have a companion, which is this VHS video organizer. Okay. And literally, I think it's just a tray. That's all it is. It's a tray that you can set your VHS in, but it just cracks me up. Like these little things that they were selling. How much did they charge for this at stores initially,
I do remember not quite for TV Guide, but I remember my grandparents having a similar thing to that for Reader's Digest.
Oh, okay.
And you could buy them in stores, but you would also, it would be something that people do at craft shows too, like almost like a book cover thing with different patterns, whatever for it. I guess the point was to keep it from getting wet, but what are you doing that you would need that for. like Reader's Digest, a novel, like sure, maybe you're reading it outside, getting some sun, but TV Guide, you're probably not reading outside anyway.
Very
No,
odd. But old people like to put plastic on their couches. They want to cover up their TV Guide,
My uncle, I remember he had one of those little caddies that went over your armchair. You got a little slot for your TV Guide and pens and whatever else that you keep by your, while you're watching TV. All right, is that it?
Well, I have. So with that, I do have a few VHS tapes. So that was just the hot item related. The first one here is I found a couple Warner Home Video clamshells. So this one is a horror movie called The Pack. I don't know. It's about killer dogs, killer wolves. We'll find out. It's like Cujo and Mass. So I actually have Cujo in this format too. So it's kind of exciting. Of course, found this recently and had to pick up another Jane Fonda workout. This one is awesome, though. The opening is a claymation Jane Fonda.
No.
It is so cool. It is hilarious. Like, I loved it so much.
What's the name of the tape? I got to look that up on YouTube.
This is the complete workout. Okay. So, yeah.
I got to watch this claymation Jane Fonda. That's, gosh.
Scary and awesome all at the same time. I've also got this recently, which I thought might catch your attention.
Oh, no. The music videos?
Yeah. So this is Welcome to the Videos. So it's got all the classics on there. So that was awesome. Nice. This one is, so I have Jurassic Park, of course. We have the new movie coming out and everything. And I see them all the time. But the one I see all the time is also The Lost World, but not with this lenticular card still inside. Right. It's always missing. And it's a really classy lenticular card. Like, it actually works really well, as you can see. They have a T-Rex popping out there. So I was really excited to find one with that intact, because there were several other copies that did not have that. So adding that to the mix. This is one that I was curious if you guys had seen this before. You're in the Super Bowl, Charlie Brown.
No.
Is it official NFL Super Bowl
product? It is. It's NFL and Shell gas stations. So I'm assuming it was a giveaway for the year. What year was this one again? Because I think this was like 89, if I saw it right. Oh, 90. Yeah, 1990. So.
Wow. Never seen that one before.
Oh, and of course, Lucy on the back taunting Charlie Brown, right? This one here, I was pretty excited to find the box set of The Naked Gun. Okay. Ooh. I recently sold a sealed copy of the first movie on eBay, so I was missing that. Now I have all three together in one beautiful package. So that was fun to find.
Yes.
But I think that is all for this round as far as VHS goes. So,
okay. While you're talking about Leslie Nielsen, I'm going to bounce off that. I found a really fun tape. We'll get to it. We'll go through some of my VHS finds here recently. I found some movies that I just had to have, some of my all-time favorites. There's The Great Outdoors. I had to have a copy of that to play back here. Major Payne, of course. And When in Rome, Top Gun. Found all those recently. This was a really fun find. Hosted by Leslie Nielsen, ABC's World's Funniest Commercials. Wow. Now, I watched this the other night. This is prime Leslie Nielsen. There's an opening, like a 2 minutes worth of one of his funny golf videos, that he was putting out at the time, but commercials from all over the world. I vaguely remember watching this. 1994 was when it came out. I believe so. 1996 is I think the release date for the VHS, but I watched it the other night. It was great. Just cheesiness at the end. They have like bloopers of him doing the gags during the during the special.
They're all like real commercials from history.
Oh yeah. So it's once there's some of those old crazy Levi's 501 jeans commercials where the guy takes off his pants and tries to tow a car, stuff like that, and all kinds of stuff from all over the world. This one was a really fun find that Adam, you know about, because I was texting between you and Chad wanted it, so I made sure to pick it up. This is September's hot picks from the new CBS fall season. What it is property of Blockbuster Video. So this is one of the promo tapes they would run in the store to show off, what was hot. This was September of 1993.
And that's Marky Post on the front?
That is Murphy Brown on the front.
Okay.
And you got, looks like Spencer for Hire here and Northern Exposure right above that. Actually, it was a new show. It Had to Be You with, what was it, Spencer for Hire's name? And Lauren Bacall, I think, is the other actress on there.
I'll have to check my TV guide on that one.
The previews are, Adam's Family Values, The Joy Luck Club, CBS's new season, and home video previews. I have not watched it yet. Oh, and CDs of the month, including Billy Ray Cyrus, Sting, U2, and Tony. So, hosted by CBS entertainment editor Mark McEwen. So, and what's unique about this comes out the top for some reason.
Oh, so weird.
So I don't know if that was a mistake, but it's a 10-minute video magazine. Hot picks, previews, and prizes. Win a 1994 Chevrolet S-Series pickup. So I'm going to pop that in before I send it over to Chad, but he called that one. That one's really fun. All right, this one is for Adam. I picked this up because it is a unique case. It's a rental case. It's a very badly cut box of MGM Cartoon Magic, which is trying to figure out some of these cartoons on here. It's kind of random cartoons, it looks like.
Yeah.
From 1983. But, well, here, I'm going to show you. What I thought was cool about this tape is on the side right here, you have a little press button and it opens up this way.
Yeah, it's such a cool mechanism.
You've got an opening up here to see the VHS's number and your barcode back here. So you're not, it's on the tape itself, and then you didn't have to take it out to scan it. And then, of course, your Be Kind, Please Rewind up there. So I'll send that one to you, Adam, to add to your ever-growing collection.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's
A
awesome.
few more here. This one will probably go up on eBay, but I thought it was a pretty nice copy. Thorn EMI HBO video, a Miramax release called Crossover Dreams. Hard shell case. That one's from 85. So looks like it went for a pretty decent amount of money on there. Got a copy of Willow.
Hey.
In the clamshell there. Gold. So I picked that up since that trailer just came out. And then one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the artwork on this one. Strange Brew.
Oh, pretty good, eh?
Yeah. Take off, hoser. That one, 1983. I remember watching that one in a lock-in in high school. I think is when I first watched that, and just have loved it ever since. So, one more. One of my holy grails I found last week down in Florida. Fell in love with this movie the first time I saw it on television, and I knew they had released it on VHS, but I figured I would never find a copy. The Night They Saved Christmas, which was the movie that had me wanting my Omnibot, because they have one that's like stands up and moves, just a fun Christmas movie from, I think, 1984 that I've tried to watch. It was on YouTube for a while, went away. I found it on Tubi, I think, last year. So thank you, Tubi. So there were some VHS finds for you. Kevin, what's going on with you, man?
All right. So question for one of your things there based off of Strange Brew.
Yeah.
You ever seen a Disney movie called Brother Bear?
No.
Okay. I would suggest looking it up if you're a fan of Strange Brew. because there are two Canadian moose that will sound very familiar to you that appear throughout the movie.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was a nice little extra thing.
Okay.
All right. So I found weird random stuff when I was doing my trip out of town here. And we've shown before, like when we go through the kids' books and find like, some older stuff, some classic pop culture stuff and all. So I found a few good ones there. And then as I was leaving a store and they had a bin of like, half off, like junk stuff or whatever, I found something that, everyone else thought was junk except for me. All right. So I found the DC Comics Essential Graphic Novels for 2016. Now, it's not really a graphic novel itself. It's more like a catalog. But if you're interested in character, like, oh, I'm interested in Flash. Okay, here's the Flash stuff you should read. And, here's the order that you should go in for it. There is some art. I know how much you love Preacher, Adam.
Yeah.
So there's some Watchmen's here, Dark Knight, Sandman, like your big ones are first. And then it's just like, oh, if you're into Batman, here's all this other Batman stuff that you could read. So, I mean, I know most of it, but I just thought it was cool to find it. This one is 50, 70, 76. Had to remember my Roman numerals. But the cut angle Tweety Bird oversized book there. Really cool looking, add it to my collection for this stuff there. Super happy for that one. Yeah. Then as I'm digging through, I found this, which is from, because the year's important here, 1986. Now I know this character has had like cartoons and merchandise and stuff like that, but I gotta guess in 86 they're trying to do some sort of reboot or something, because it's a Felix the Cat book. That is not a Felix I have ever seen before in my life.
That's a bizarre character model. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. So which is honestly why I grabbed it. But then like, this isn't, a bad cover. Like this is the look they're going for it. But I don't know if there was a cartoon, a direct to VHS thing, the toy line that failed. Like I've never seen anything like this style for Felix. So I had to grab it. More unknown though. I've never seen this one before. This one is 87. The legendary Mr. Banana Head. What? I have never heard of this, seen this, whatever. But as soon as I saw that art, I said, I have to grab this. This is so stupid looking. And I don't know if you guys remember. So Nickelodeon came in. It was usually one of the first cable stations that got added when your area got cable. They had Danger Mouse on it for a while. Danger Mouse is a British cartoon. And at the end, before the next cartoon started, there'd be about 5 minutes, and they played
what you're gonna say.
Banana Man.
Yes.
Yep. I loved Banana Man. It was the dumbest thing, and I love that cartoon. So anytime I find something ridiculous like Mr. Banana Head here, I'm gonna add it to the collection too. But I mean, it's so silly and goofy. Like I had to get this. It's the dumbest looking thing.
That is fun.
So the one I saw that I'm convinced people thought was stupid and had never heard of it before, and everyone else going past it, if I can open this, is a complete set for pennies pretty much, Adam, of the Ultraverse cards.
No way. Whoa.
I didn't even know they had the cards. Like, I mean, I'm sure I knew at the time, but I completely forgot. So it is complete set of all 100 there. Prototype, bigger one there. The Freaks. So, I mean, it's really, it's just like pictures from the comic pretty much taken out.
Well, what I'm curious about, Kevin, is, we just interviewed Dave Ulbrich, who was one of the co-founders of Malibu Comics that made the Ultraverse a thing. And he said that if you go into the trading cards, there's a lot of characters that made it to the trading card set that they never put in the comics, or they didn't prominently, make a part of their stories. So I'm very curious to see if there's any oddballs in there you find.
That I'm not completely versed. It wouldn't shock me. Solitaire, I know, had his own title.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with that. Sweet Face. I do not remember. But that's also the signature, the things in the corner there. That's Walt Simonson art. So I would think if you have him on a book, that book would have actually been published and these characters would come out. But yeah, there's random ones in here. Anything. I have no idea if that. So there's gonna be a lot of like one-offs. There's probably like, you know, the villain of the week or something in here. But I will absolutely go through how 90s comic is that.
Yeah, that's intense.
So I'll absolutely go through and see. It doesn't. Yeah, because you know how some of them will have a first appearance on the back, so you know what comic they debuted in. This series does not have that at all. So I think you're absolutely right for that. But I mean, they were creating so many characters and just locking them up that it wouldn't, like, man, there we go. But it wouldn't shock me if there are some in here that just nothing ever happened with them. And it looks like there's something with the borders here too. I'm not quite sure what. We have got 3 different color borders, but all the pink ones are definitely like titles I know. So I'll be very curious to go through that some more. But yeah, great. It was $2.
Good deal.
For a complete set of anything for $2. Holy cow.
Yeah, and they had a bunch of like really weird card sets that I understood why they were sitting there. But the Ultraverse, I mean, honestly, it's gonna be someone our age going by that anyways. Like no one else is gonna grab that set. I just happen to be right place, right time.
Cool.
All right, though that's the ridiculousness for that round.
Okay. Speaking of right place, right time. So I got too excited here and I cut off my VHS finds too quickly. So I'm going to show just a few more here as I get into my books, because I actually did find a Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace collector's set that just happened to be sitting on the shelf with everything else, in the video section, but it like flips open. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's got,
wow.
I got a book in there. It's got like a piece of film, and it's got all sorts of what you got, your Star Wars savings book, coupon book, so you can get all that going. And then of course the widescreen edition of the movie, which I see this tape all the time, but not with all the goodies. So that was like an extra cool thing to find.
Nice.
But also I happened to find the other day going through the records. Of course, sometimes they mix and match things in there. And I'm actually going to send Jason the video to show all the different movies that were actually available in the Laserdisc format. Oh. Okay, so I just grabbed 2 of the more obscure horror ones because they had like Cliffhanger, and they had like some Brandon Lee movies, if you can believe that. So this first one here, these are actually 2 from Full Moon Productions. So this is an H.P. Lovecraft Lurking Fear. Okay, so there you go. Look at that creature on the back. Pretty great. But the one that super caught my attention, Mandroid. Which is just, the concept alone looks so cool. I was thinking, oh, this guy goes into the body of this robot. Maybe he does, but according to the synopsis on the back, it tells you that it's about 2 scientists fighting over this robot creation that they made. So, but I was just like, wow, Laserdisc. And they had a whole bunch of karaoke Laserdisc too. But I still don't have a Laserdisc player, so I have not invested fully in Laserdisc yet. But when the time comes, But speaking of some cool books here, so I recently did a little transaction, basically just helping Brian Cave here on the Retro Network clear out some of his comic book collection. And some of the things that I found kind of went together with some recent comics I found. So I got some more of these Pizza Hut, promotional X-Men comics. So that was in the mix there. So I got 2 and 3 here. And these are actually really cool because they have like full-on fold-out like like on the inside, you could put all the pieces together to make a full poster. Plus the, the cover itself is full on fold out, and it goes farther than this. I just can't manage that all at once. Here's another one that was a part of a different Marvel promotion, but I read this one. It is an anti-smoking story in addition to being a free giveaway, which I was like, usually you give those away free at doctor's offices, not as part of your kids meal at Pizza Hut. So that was kind of a ripoff. I was like, educational. But also Brian shared this on the VIP lounge, but this issue of Camp Candy, which was super good. I love this cartoon. I actually have another issue already, so it was super fun to get that issue.
So hard to find. I've got a couple of them, and I've been like, I want to get more, but they're hard to find.
Yeah, because it wasn't highly merchandised at all. Camp Candy. Last one here for comics, though. Check out this one, The Adventures of Colt. Do you have this?
He's so angry looking.
Yes, I do. I paid way too much for it too, but yeah, I had to have it.
This was complete. Like, it's coming apart because it's complete with the actual map inside, and they've already written on it. Like, the kid who had this back in the day was solving all the puzzles and trying to figure out all the clues. But I remember having this as a kid and getting so excited, like, what am I going to order with my Kool-Aid toys? Because like the one time my mom let me buy Kool-Aid, that was not in the house. Then real quick here, I can grab this stack. Brian also sent me a couple more of the mini comics, the Pizza Hut mini comics that came with the VHS tapes, which I still have my set, but I always love grabbing these because they're just nostalgia filled. I did find Free Willy 3, The Rescue novelization.
They made a third?
Wow. Can you believe it? I know. This was really interesting. A couple of Trolls books. So playing with, and these are the official Norfin Trolls. Okay, this is not any of those knockoffs of there were so many, but too many Trolls. Isn't that true? My wife still has her Trolls. We have them running around the house here from back in the day. I also got a couple of Alf storybooks.
Nice.
Really cool. So Alf is all the rage these days. I sold off a lot of my Alf collectibles recently because I was just like not devoting all my time and energy to that. This was fun just because it was kind of Pink Panther and Sons, right?
Yep, that was from the 80s, right?
Makes me want to find one of the Popeye and Sons books if that exists. And American Tail Fable Goes West storybook. This one I thought be of interest to everybody but me, but Baseball's Best. So this is just of the 80s, like the top players being profiled, so you got all your different. Look at that leg going up there for that pitch. That's impressive. I found one of these recently. I was so excited. These LC and the Critter Kids. I found like a book, and this one is more of a storybook style, but I just love the 90s update that they gave to Mercer Mayer's little critter. So I'm a big fan of these now when I find them. Got a Teddy Ruxpin book. I'm always on the lookout for more Teddy Ruxpin books. So, because I have a lot of the tapes, but not the matching books. We got a Baby Kermit Christmas. At first, I thought this was one of the ones that came from McDonald's, but it's not. It's just a fun weekly reader series book. And also, in keeping with all of that, I got a bunch of some Muppet Babies. I've been showing Muppet Babies to my 3-year-old on my TV in my office on Saturday mornings. So I have my tapes full of Muppet Babies. Last one here on that round. This was the big one. Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, the novelization, and there was also a VHS tape, in the mix that day. So to get both of these, I was so excited. Like, I'm imagining, again, the kid who ordered this from, the book club back in the day and went to the book fair and got that. So, but it's got, the full pictures and everything inside like they always did. So excited to see if there are any deleted scenes for When Nature Calls.
We're all clamoring. Those Alf books, I've got 2 or 3 of those, so I might be working on a trade with you there. Okay. And I know where there is a stack of Teddy Ruxpin books at a local antique mall. So next time I'm there, I'm going to take a picture and maybe I could pick up some for you there.
Sounds
Did you
good.
hide them behind something? Was your mom like, if that's here next time we're at the store, I'll buy it for you, and then you hide it behind like something else? Hope
No,
they'll
they've been
stay
there for a while, so I don't think anybody's clamoring, like I said, for Teddy Ruxpin. Okay, well, let's talk about some books. You see this wonderful stack behind me here.
Mm-hmm.
These are all Nick Carter books. I texted Kevin or sent him some pictures. It's like, you have any interest in these? And I don't know. We'll see if it might be worth, if you want them, Kevin. But I got a total of about 32 of them for 50 cents a copy. And these are all from like the 60s, 70s, 80s era. Nick Carter was like the American James Bond, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This one here in particular, though, I thought was interesting, as it has the Newport cigarette ad in the middle. You know, those are pretty sought after, right, Kevin?
They are. I will always put that in an eBay listing, like with cigarette ad. It dates it for sure. It's something that isn't there anymore now anyways. But then you get the cross promotion. You can get the book collectors and the advertising collectors both wanting it.
Right. This was actually a third printing from 1975. So, yeah. So I got a bunch of those. I did find, well, there's more of those style of books at this one store, and I passed on, but I did find some that are the Phoenix Force as well. These are from the 80s, I think early 80s. So I'm going through here, 1984 on that one. Gar Wilson is the author there. One novelization I found, Herbie Goes Bananas.
Wow.
Hey.
I has some, they're not color photos in here, but in the middle there are some stills from the movie. And then a couple fun ones for Kevin that I'll definitely send to you. And I don't know if you know any reference, obviously one you probably will, but this one is from 1973, I think. Yes. The most thrilling adventure of the greatest hero of them all, The Silver Warriors.
Oh,
by
Moorcock.
Michael Moorcock.
Yeah.
What I thought was
seen
really
that
cool
one.
is the pages are blue on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, I've grabbed tons of his over the years for, either myself or trade or whatever, but I've never seen that one.
Okay, well, good. Well, that one's going to come your way. And then a first edition from 1995. First publication in any form, it says on the cover. Conan the Gladiator.
Nice.
Wow.
So I know you're a big Conan fan, so there you go.
Yeah.
Continuing that character on in the 90s. I think that's all the books that I have. I find little things locally here every once in a while, but here's some little figurines. I love the little PVC figurines from back in the day. I've got a bunch of Garfield, got the California Raisins, and I do remember having some Smurfs as a kid. So I found 3 Smurfette figures. There she is as the Easter Bunny, and going to school there, carrying her books. And then Nurse Smurfette with a huge shot, ready to poke you. So I thought those were fun. Those kind of figures I mixed in with all my other toys and stuff as a kid, and they always got played with right along with everything else. And these look like I need to get the magic eraser out and clean them up a little bit. But so there's some books and some goodies. What else you got, Kevin?
All right. So here, let me balance these. They're oversized. I went out my birthday weekend, I'll say. I was just like, I'm doing nothing. Let me just go, to a thrift store, yard sale, stuff like that, and I'll try to find something. So I found like weird random stuff, but one of the community yard sales that I usually do phenomenally well, like crazy good, I'd been walking around for an hour. I found nothing. I was getting so disappointed and upset. And then I just found like random one-offs on stuff. I'm like, here's a quarter. Like, all right. It was just such a weird one. But anyways, so I picked up this and I have no idea what it is. It looked pretty. It's Japanese, text on the front, but it's all these like art prints in here. So I'm thinking it's like, someone went to maybe a museum and picked this up as a gift on their way out, if I had to guess. So I'm trying to do like a reverse image search and find out what it is and, what I want to do with it from there. But it was sitting there for dirt cheap. So I'm like, I'll figure it out. For the price, I'll grab it and figure it out later. Mm-hmm. But anything with a foreign text, I'll usually grab and see what, if it's dirt cheap, and see what I can do with it later on. I found this random magazine. It's like for graphic designers, but it was an Art Spiegelman cover.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had never heard of it, seen it. Everything else in here was like, oh, here's, random design, and we're talking to that artist. And nothing against them, but that's not the stuff I'm going for. And as I'm digging through the pile, I found this one. I thought, you gotta be, I think it was $25 at that yard sale. So there's like other artists in here, like just showing off their work and how they did it and have little interviews and stuff. But then the Spiegelman part has like examples from Mouse and other works that he's done for it. So I'll just add it to my comic history stuff and figure it out later. Yeah, someone's photography that they're going through. But I have debated grabbing all of them that they had. But the more I was looking through, I thought, I'm not going to care about any other magazine in this pile. I'm only going to care about the comic one. So I may as well keep going. So speaking of comic history, though, then I was finding other stuff that I had to grab at one of these. No, this was a random antique mall. So there was a Twilight Zone magazine, which was, interviews with people that wrote for it, acted for it, creepy stuff going on, news stories, whatever. So the cover article was Harlan Ellison's Twilight Zone episode you never got to see. So I collect anything Harlan Ellison that I find along the way. And I was like, all right, I didn't know he almost did one. So I got to grab that. I don't know who the person was, but they had the Mighty World of Marvel UK comic.
Wow.
So Captain Britain being a more featured character. A lot of the stuff was not brought over. If it does, it was much, much later. But it's more adult, like black and white interviews, stuff like that. Marvel maybe trying to compete with Judge Dredd at the time, or even like you mentioned Conan. Sorry, they're not all black and white. There are color sections as well. You mentioned Conan earlier. There was a Conan magazines in the 80s and early 90s that were oversized so they could get away with the sex and the violence and stuff like that in them. So I know I've never grabbed one of the Marvel UK ones before. This is just like, it's not colored, but it's got shades of blue in it, and it's clearly an X-Men reprint. But I'd never seen one before, so I had to grab it.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm guessing the person did a trip, vacation, whatever, and found some. Yeah. And then I found the Comics Interview magazine, where it was pre-Wizard. Do I have a date? I don't have a date on the cover here. Pre-Wizard, they would sit down and talk to people like John Byrne about Fantastic Four.
Wow.
And just sit and talk with him for a while. But I was shocked to find it at all. I love that, like, it's nothing against Wizard. Wizard was certainly the biggest, but a lot of them, like you're saying with the recent guest, Comics Journal is great, but it's academic pretty much. Like, if you don't want to travel that path, it's worthless to pick up for you. But random like Byrne art, just showing how he's doing it, lots of pieces of his comics, and then interviews with him and all sorts of stuff. If I find any more of these, I'm grabbing them right away. But I was just super excited for it. And look at all the people that are happy about Wizard and have memories and all the stuff you're finding in there that people forgot about. There's lots of the comic magazines there that people forget about, and that's where we're unearthing these things that never happened, never got published, whatever it might be. So yeah, super excited. That was just, I was at home on my birthday and thought, let me get out of the house. So I did that. It was a couple days before yours. So what I should have done is I should have scheduled a Zoom call for everyone. Like watch wrestling over it or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all for that one. I got like a meh book one. Like it's cool to show, but it's not big. And then I have like I was super excited pile.
All
Go
right.
ahead, take it away, Ed.
So this one here, this is what I've been holding on to for a while. Actually, I was like, if I ever had nothing, I could always show this that I got like months and months ago. But I just think it's so interesting. This is the Nick.com Extreme CD, but it's brought to you by Frigo Cheeseheads cheese sticks. Okay, so it's like it's a CD-ROM like game pack. That you, I don't know if you sent away for it or if I'm going to assume so. I don't know if it like would come packed in the refrigerated section with the cheese, but I still have an old enough computer that can play this. So I haven't played it yet with my kids, but I want to check it out and see what it, kind of games they have on there. And then, so this is like my random toys section here as I close out, because you brought up your Blockbuster video tape. I found a Blockbuster Video sponsored puzzle for Office Space.
Yeah, nice.
I didn't know they sold these, but I'm assuming it was up at the register when the movie was for rent, so that was kind of cool to find that. Also recently I've been finding some toys again. Like I feel like I so rarely find, toys worth mentioning, but I did find some beautiful stuffed toys. Like, hey, it's Raphael, guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great shape too.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. He's still got his belt and everything. So I actually had several of these I sold last year. So now he's coming back around. We got Raph there. But also in the mix, how about a vintage
go worm,
beautiful shape? So I mean, it is just, there's no, like the tag is in great shape. Like nothing is wrong with this, except for the fact that it actually doesn't glow. I put new batteries in it. I cleaned it up a little bit inside, but it doesn't work. I think just the light bulb inside is probably burnt out, but still, like my son, he's like, can I have it? I was like, after the video. Play with it.
Holding out on your kids just to make a video.
Yeah. But also, action figures are also pretty hard to come by. I feel like anything of vintage quality. But this was in a case at this one, church thrift store thing. They happen to have Big Boy from Dick Tracy. So little Al Pacino, I get to add that to my collection here because he's not one that I found at RetroCon when I was digging around and stuff. So just happy to have Big Boy there. But last one here, opened on weird VHS, and now we're going to close on it. Yet another VCR board game, but this time it's Clue.
Wow.
Mystery game.
They did Clue.
Yeah. So this one's the most fun, right? Because you have characters, you have actual like scenes playing out and stuff. So this one I was very excited to add to my VCR game collection. So cool. So that's it for me.
Okay, I've got some music stuff left to show you, and one that I will send Adam's way. That I've been doing a lot of my 45s and my cassettes on Instagram, but I did save some LPs to show you guys today. But one of the ones that I did reveal that he can have for his Xanadu collection is a copy of the soundtrack on cassette.
That's a beautiful copy. It's in such great shape.
Yeah, it is in very good shape. So you will, I can see you putting that on as soon as you.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the weird experience I had in Florida, we went to this Goodwill that was advertised as a Goodwill Outlet.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, what is the outlet part? Is it like a store where all the other stuff, unsold stuff goes to this and they, try to get rid of it, or what in the world is a Goodwill Outlet? And I found out that it's chaos is what it is. Pure unadulterated chaos. Do you guys know what the Goodwill?
Yeah, I went to one in Las Vegas once when I was passing through.
I've never been to one, but I know of.
Yeah, so they bring out these huge rolling blue bins, just stuffed to the top with whatever, clothes, housewares, just they'll bring out, it looks like they try to put stuff kind of together. So here's a bin full of bed sheets, here's a bin full of coats and hats, and here's a bin full of, random tech stuff, whatever. But when those new bins get rolled out, and there was probably, I don't know, I would say 30 people in the store. Whew, like a pack of wolves on the thing, man. And you hear stuff flying and they're just picking through it. My wife and I were just like, what are we gonna do, man? Because there's that what was that store that we had here? Black Friday that was kind of like that, where they get pallets of stuff in from Target and all this other, damaged goods and returns and stuff, and they just throw it in bins like that. But at a Goodwill, we still walked out with it was by the pound too.
Yeah,
so all the clothes,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, you put all your clothes up there and it's by the pound, and all your other just random housewares and stuff was a different price by the pound. And we paid $10, and yeah, we walked away pretty happy. What I did find there, though, which was interesting, in one bin at the very bottom were some brand new blank cassette tapes from back in the day, and these will sell. If you find them for dirt cheap, you put a bunch of them together on eBay, and they will sell pretty nice. The one that really caught my attention was this Maxell one. You guys remember that commercial, of course, with the guy at the chair in front of the TV. So I found a few of those, and then there was a random box. I think these are probably from like a class or something that was recorded on tape for somebody to listen to later. But it was a bunch of Radio Shack and Memorex cassettes. Now look at this case. This case is very unique. And I picked up several of these just because I had never seen these in the wild before and had not remembered them. But they open, I'm going to go this way. So they open from the side like this, and then you pop your tape out. So
yeah, we had some of those at my house growing up. Those are so cool.
Weirdest setup for a cassette, but I thought, why not? I'll grab it. I haven't listened to it yet to see what it actually is on it. So that might be interesting to find out. But I did find some LPs. Some was at a local thrift store we get to a lot that are just dirt cheap. So these, I think I paid 50 cents for some of these. So you got Billy Joel's 52nd Street. There's a classic album there. I listened to this one, and this one is very out there. So this is Joe Jackson's Night and Day. Joe Jackson, the Steppin' Out guy. If you remember that song. But it's very conceptual, you might say. This is a great one. Now, I got a few at another store. We have what is it called? Game Exchange. Y'all ever heard of that? No. They've got video games, vinyl, comic books, all kinds of stuff that they buy. And they had a whole section of vinyl, and they actually look like on Discogs, like what it's worth based on conditioning and stuff. So it's not like one set price for everything. This one I thought was fun. Star Trek in '76. Look at this cover.
God.
So this is a compilation. You got the Jackson 5 on here, Greg Allman, The Temptations, Barry Manilow. So just seeing that image of the astronaut with the microphone, I was like, I got to pick that one up. I love the new wave. So I still haven't spun this yet. This is Kajagoogoo's White Feathers album, which contains the song Too Shy. I found the 12-inch of Too Shy, the Midnight Mix, which is pretty awesome, by the way. I think I might like it more than the original. Also found this one, of course. I think I put this one over in the lounge, but there you go, Adam.
Yeah.
It had the inserts in here and everything. So
beautiful.
That was my first Kiss album I've ever bought. I was like, I need to buy that. Not just for Adam, but for me. I might have been a little bit more excited to find this one, The Chipmunks Christmas.
Ooh.
If that tells you anything about me. That was from 1962. Now, I will pass on stuff if I think it's not going to play. So all of these, I was like, these will definitely play, just looking at the records. And then my favorite find of that little trip, which I don't think I had ever listened to other than one of the songs that are on the soundtrack here, which is Billy Ocean's Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car. There you go.
Oh,
The
nice.
License to Drive
Oh.
soundtrack. Very good condition. I was very excited to find that one.
Yeah. Man.
Just kind of called to me. So there's some vinyl finds that are not in the smaller variety. So yeah, I've kind of moved all of those over there to Instagram because it's too much to show you guys in one video like this. Kevin, what are you gonna send us home with?
All right. So I continuing my comic history, having things that are old comic related that I'm probably the only one that has it too. So I found a bunch. They're super big and heavy and are gonna have to go on the bottom shelf.
Wow.
All right. So I have Doc Savage, His Apocalyptic Life.
Whoa.
Very cool looking. It's like done like a biography of Doc Savage. It's pulpy adventure and everything. But what got me, and I knew of this. Here, let me try to not ruin it. There we go. I knew of this from a blogger I used to read. He's since passed, but he was like the first person I saw. Is the Doc Savage and Adventure family tree that this book maps out. So it's got Moriarty's on here, Tarzan, the Scarlet Pimpernel, let's see, Captain Blood, like all sorts of adventures that I don't know, like to connect them to Doc Savage, that they're all family in a way.
Wow.
And then as the story goes through, they connect all of that as well. So I saw that on here and said, okay, I've known of that. I've never read this. I've not seen it. I'm grabbing it just like, honestly, just for this. This is the main reason I grabbed it. I'll try to read it later. I'm sure I will enjoy it, but there's 100 other things to read and watch and all. Okay. Graphic novels are a fairly new thing. A lot of times you'd see like, a trade paperback will be offered in bookstores or whatever. Death in the Family, the 1-800 Robin, Yes or No was the first graphic novel I ever saw actually in print. Marvel had some of the oversized for a while and all, but it was rare. But I would call this a graphic novel. So it's this giant book, Superman from the 30s to the 70s.
Wow.
Really cool looking and everything. Copyright is 71.
Wow.
Yeah, so this was like, here's Superman going into the 70s. What will the 70s hold for the Man of Steel? But it reprints a ton of old Superman, some in color, some in black and white throughout here. So, I mean, I would call it a graphic novel today, by today's standards, but I can absolutely see this just in the 70s as just, hey, we're just going to throw a bunch of Superman together for kids, adults that like Superman for it. So, yeah. I love getting like the black and white anthologies. DC called them showcases, Marvel called them essentials, just reprinting a bunch of old stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. In addition, this one is from 1965, and it is The Great Comic Heroes.
Wow.
Whoa.
The origins.
65, you said?
65. Origins and early adventures of the classic superheroes of comic books in gorgeous color. So it's got, Superman as you would expect, but it could never exist now. We have Superman, we have the Human Torch, we have Submariner, we have Captain America, we have Plastic Man, we have the Spirit. So we got like multiple different companies. There's a nice write-up, History Comics and all, but then it goes into the reprints for it too.
Wow.
And I mean, like, yeah, I'm super excited for it. But the fact that it's color too, it's damaged, it's beat up, I don't care. Like, I'm not looking to, sell this for mint condition or anything. But just the fact that it has multiple companies in here shocked me.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
I see those all the time at like Ollie's, the collections from the comics and comic strips, really, like Wonder Woman, Batman. And I have no idea that they put stuff like that together way back then. So that's pretty cool, man.
I didn't either. Like almost all these, I don't know until I find it. Like I've never heard about before. It's not like I was searching. This is 1969. So I've made the comment on podcasts. I've made it in my own articles. I've probably made it with stuff I've done with both of you. When something's rebooted, when something's coming back out and certain older fandom says, oh, it's terrible, it's not how I wanted it. If we don't reboot stuff and have new versions, then that property dies and then no one knows about it. So I don't know anything about it. I'm aware of it, but I've never read it or anything. But I had to grab the collected works of Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Wow. Wow.
I had to grab it. I was so excited. I've never read Buck Rogers. There's nothing Buck Rogers going on right now at all. But from what I'm seeing, it's reprinting the comic strip, not comic books for it. And a lot of these, like, I don't know if you guys had the Phantom in your paper when you were younger, there was a comic section. The Phantom's not like a Joe Cadet strip. You read it, next to Garfield and Peanuts, and it's lame. But you read like a month's worth, and it starts getting good and interesting. Right, yeah. That's in chapter page. But the art is amazing for a newspaper strip. Like, it's so cool looking. So yeah, I mean, I had to grab those. I can see why no one else other than me would have cared. I'm super excited, but yeah, that's got to go on a bottom shelf. I'm guessing this is like 5 pounds, probably. Like, that's gonna just bow any other shelf and snap it in half.
Yeah, I love those collections that you have no idea what the stories are. Even like He-Man, I've got a couple of those. Well, the one that collects the mini comics, but also the ones that collect the comic strips, I believe, and Star Wars too. Star Wars had a newspaper run that I've got a paperback that combines all those together. And like you said, you see like 3 panels in a newspaper, you're like, what in the world's going on? Because you're not reading it every day, and then you find a collection like that to put it all together, and it's gold, man.
Yeah, and it's actually cool. I did find that Star Wars one to bring it back at Ollie's.
Yeah, I think that's where I found mine too. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is cool, because who knows what could be in here.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it. I saw it, said, well, I know what I'm buying here today.
That's awesome stuff. All right, was that pretty much it for everybody then?
I think so. I mean, that was some good hauls for everybody this time around. Great stuff.
Lots from May, kind of leaking into June here, but we'll see if we can get another one done by the end of the month as our true, anniversary episode. But it's been fun, man. I've had a lot of fun over this last year. Just what we found has been amazing at times. I mean, that to me, that's finding stuff like that is amazing. And, doing a show like this is really brings it out to the forefront, and you get to really show it off and, kind of show it to people versus just taking a picture or something and throwing it up on your social media. So it's been a really fun ride.
For sure. And I'm actually looking forward to you guys have been doing a lot of traveling. I'm doing a lot of traveling this summer. So I'm starting to just do all my research and be like, okay, Thrift Store here, Goodwill here. We're going to hit them all up. So it should be good come the fall. I think we'll have a lot of stuff building up.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and probably in July, we'll have some fun stuff, because July 4th week we're making our trip to Pennsylvania. So I know several stores up there in my hometown I love to hit, and whatever else I can find along the way. So we shall see what we can find in our ventures this summer. So, all right. Well, Kevin and Adam both have their own channels. I do as well. We always put the link in the show. I say show notes. I'm used to podcasting, but in the description below, people, you can find all of our channels. Please connect and subscribe. And of course, subscribe to TRN TV if you are not, as we are continuing the Thrift Store Horde, of course, our Wax Pack flashback episodes, me and Adam, and we might get one together here soon with all three of us, Adam and I and Mickey. So we'll see if we can pull that one off for our Retro Network summer camp coming up. I'm really excited about that. I don't know, maybe we got to look for some summer related items next time around. Ooh. So we can tie into that. I don't know what kind of summer items we can find. Old pool toys and whatever. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Adam, Kevin, always a pleasure, and we'll talk to you in the next episode.
So long.